Hi, my name's Justin Griffith. This is my daughter Parker. We have started a GoFundMe to try and raise money for a vehicle because we don't have a car. We haven't had one for 2 years. It's been really hard. We live in Ellensburg. Everything here is really spread out. When we moved here, I had a truck, but it blew up on I-82 and I don't have a truck anymore 2 years ago. We were using this thing. If you live in town, you've probably seen it around town, but the framing broke out on us. It's plastic and aluminum. It just snapped. So we lost that. And then to keep groceries going, I with my last tax return that I bought a tricycle, an adult tricycle, and I thought this was going to get us around town. But the axle works off of one wheel back there. That one wheel is the only wheel that turns everything, and the axle stripped out the hub in that wheel. I've got a bunch of like JB Weld on there trying to fix it, but it didn't work. And now I don't know what to do with that. It's garbage. Um, so we were back on our feet, and a neighbor here, we live at the Alder Terrace Apartments, let us use this. This is a wheelchair that you've probably seen us out walking around. I've been using to get our, groceries and things that we need. I can put backpacks on here and kind of stuff things around the sides of my daughter, but it's not like having a trunk. When I go to the stores, I can't buy things in bulk. Like you'll get deals if you can buy 3 to 5 of some things. I can't do that because I can't carry it. And my daughter, she's on the spectrum and has a specialized diet. She won't eat solid food. She just chokes, and she can't have dairy. So I've got to buy like the highest caloried, alternative milks I can get my hands on, like Oatly and Planet Oat, or Planet Oat's not even that good. It's really the top brands that have like 100 calories or more per serving that she needs to get her calories up there. I also use like baby food pouches and little jars. I'll put them in there and just create smoothies. I add all kinds of stuff, olive oil, different things to get her calories up, so her body will gain weight, hold weight. It's hard. It's a nonstop process, and some months are worse than others. The grocery outlet will get deals on like the milk I need, and I can get them for $1.99. You know what I mean? Sometimes, but other times not. And we don't have a Walmart in town, so the cheapest baby food I can get my hands on is at Fred Meyer's, and that's a walk. That is quite a walk from where I live. It's a good 5 miles, a little over round trip, with my daughter, and she can walk. She doesn't need to be in a wheelchair, but if I take her out and I have her walk with me to the stores and doing what we need to do, when we get home, she has no energy. She just put 3 miles on her little legs, or 5 miles going to Fred Meyer's, and then she doesn't want to go outside and play with the kids. There's a park over there, and she doesn't want to do anything. It steals her childhood. So I can't force her to walk. Um, she was at Mount Stewart Elementary. Everything was going fine for about 2 months. I had gotten a little job going, and all of a sudden one day I picked her up on a Friday. She was really upset, and I got this report that she was biting people. That had never happened ever. And by Sunday, bruises showed up on her body from her armpits all the way down to her knees, and they were clear, real thick on the sides, and you could see fingerprints on the sides of her back and her rib cage. It was clear she'd been restrained. And in our IEP, I live 5 minutes away. I told them they can't do that. They're not allowed to restrain her. We did not authorize that. If anything ever came to that, which it never had with her, that they could call me. I live 5 minutes away. I'll come. I'll come and get her and figure out what's going on, but do not restrain her. They didn't listen. They restrained her. I complained. They got a third-party investigator involved, and then they sent me a new IEP in the mail. And I still have all this. So they sent me a new IEP in the mail that now had the box for restraining her checked. And they had a letter in there that said that I forgot to sign it during the original IEP. Would I just sign it and send it back so they'd have it on file? Well, no, that was an altered IEP. You guys altered it to try and cover your tracks. You get daily reports from the school that tell you how they're doing. And I got 2 months worth of these pieces of paper that say she was great. Then all of a sudden one day she's a biter. Well, Parker is on the spectrum. And it was very clearly stated to the school and the teachers that she creates patterns and routines like that. The first time you do something with her, she may internalize that, and that's how you have to do it every time. It's exhausting, but it's her, and it as long as you stick with it, she never has a problem, and she's really easy. She doesn't have like a lot of problems. But they clearly didn't didn't let her get a routine started, and their method that dealing with that was to just hold her down. A bunch of adults hold her down till she went into a primitive state and started biting at them. That kid has never bitten at anyone, any teacher she's ever had, any school she's ever been in. She has never had a problem. Just here at Mount Stewart with John Godson, that was her teacher. He was the one that started calling her a biter. Yeah, you be quiet. You be quiet, you silly monkey. But this is not a biter. This is a happy little girl that is just naturally happy and doesn't have an ounce of hate in her heart anywhere, ever. Like, she's never hit another kid. She's never been in a fight or argued with kids. She didn't do any of that stuff. They say kids don't come with the manual, but mine's on the spectrum. And somehow she knows knives cut. She knows fire's hot. She knows heights are dangerous. She knows traffic's dangerous. She came with that built in. I didn't teach her that. She just knows better. It's incredible. But because of all that, I can't get her in school. It costs $8,600. There's the Discovery Lab or whatever in town. It's like a private school. I certainly can't afford that. I haven't been able to work, so I can't pay federal taxes, so I'm not getting a tax return or the child income tax credit to help out with the vehicle or getting anything. And I'm just in this weird position. I can't send my kid to school. I can't take my kid to a job with me. There's no jobs that you can have your kid with you at. With a car, we could at least like Uber or do something to try and get back in the tax bracket. It also give me the opportunity to drive her to like her mom who lives on the other side of the mountains for maybe we can start splitting like the month. I mean, I've got full custody, but something's got to change. I've got to do something. I need something to happen. I mean, where we stay now, we get SSI and EBT, and we run out of that before the month's over. I end up having to borrow money from neighbors and other people and pay them back. My mom was going to help us, but she did some really weird stuff. Said she'd give us $4,500 so we can go get a car. I went and found a car. She wanted my brother to be involved because he's like a mechanic or a pseudo mechanic. He's not certified in anything. But so I was like, okay, fine, get him. He's in Ohio, but okay, we'll get him involved. He got involved, and we had nothing but problems. He did nothing. He didn't look for any cars. He didn't find anything. I finally found a car. I met the guy, set up a deal. And my mom wanted the money to go through my brother. Now, she lives in Linwood. I live in Ellensburg. He lives in Ohio. But for some reason, the money had to go through him. And I knew the moment that was the case that it wasn't going to happen. I've got one of those brothers that doesn't work. He's never lived on his own. He's lived with family or with a girlfriend his entire life. This guy does not have 30 days anywhere on his own. He's one of those codependent types. And we got a relative in our family. It's a long story, but she's got a history of getting close to the elder people in our family. And when they pass, all of a sudden everything's just left to them or to her, not their kids, nobody else. And this aunt took care of my brother for a very long time. And she's still around. Her daughter just died in her home, you know what I mean, while she was taking care of her. So this is like the fifth person that's died in her care. All family. Unbelievable. But this guy is now in my mom's bank account. He's a 47-year-old and is now on a joint account with her. Guy's got no kids, doesn't have any dependents, doesn't have anything, right? Excuse me. He's got a girlfriend that he's not attracted to, which is dumb. Tried to get her out of that situation 100 times, but she won't listen. So she's going to stay in that relationship. And it's going to, I don't know what's going to happen with that. What I do know is that my brother has embedded himself into my mom's bank account and is doing everything he can to make sure that she doesn't spend any of that money on me, my daughter. I have another brother with a daughter. I have a sister that's disabled. We're all cut off. If anyone wants something, they got to go through him, and he's not giving up anything. It's a weird situation, very weird, that even my mother's husband is questioning. Like, he's saying there's some unnatural stuff going on there, and I don't know, What I do know is that they told us they called us. We didn't call them. They called us after I started the GoFundMe, told me that they would give us $4,500 so we can go get a car, and then they didn't do it. They didn't do it. I found the car and they acted like when it came time to put my name on a check to get the car, it was a scam or something. Like I was untrustworthy. It's unbelievable. I'm a single father out here raising my kid. I fought my divorce. I did everything my parents didn't do. And my brother, especially, this guy's got two kids. I think he knows them now that they're adults, but he still owes child support on one that's like 20 something years old because he was an absent father. He didn't take care of his kids not one day. But this is the guy that was put in charge of taking care of me and my daughter. The whole thing was so out of pocket and weird and just depressing that I've completely quit talking to either of them. I was emancipated when I was 15. Legally, I'm an orphan. It's just taken me another 30 years to realize that they view me as an orphan too. So I have no help there. No help. Um, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I can't seem to, the churches in this town won't help me. They flat out told me because I'm a guy, because I'm a man, that they don't help single fathers. Like if I was a woman, I'd have a car right now. But because I'm a guy, they won't help me. And that's true. You can call Liberty Church, you can call any of them. Two of them I have on recording telling me they won't help me because I'm a guy. And I told them I was recording them. They didn't care. So being a man with a child that's actually trying to do the right thing right now is incredibly hard. And what they're doing with the government and all the systems, everything, it doesn't make any sense for my situation or for me and my daughter to get out of the situation we're in. We're in a HUD housing situation that I didn't want to be in for 6 months. The plan was to put my daughter in school, go get a job, and get us out of here right away. And then the school did what they did, and I got no help to get out of my situation. So I started a GoFundMe. I'm trying to raise the money for a car, and this is a video just explaining what that is, why I'm in this position, and the fact that I can't get out of it. There's literally, I'm going to need help. I have to have help. I don't have another method or means to stop this. So that's what the GoFundMe is. This is kind of my story and why we are looking for money. We're trying to raise money to get a car. Um, yeah, that, and so I can take my daughter to a park without making her walk 2 miles to get there. All right. Thank you.